The hospitality industry is the single largest industry in the world. And you think of our position as a school in the education space. We take a first-class business education and we ground it in the context of the world's most dynamic industry. That industry needs state-of-the-art knowledge.
When I was first discussing the idea of creating a Center for Hospitality Research, somebody among our faculty asked why we need it. And in fact, one of the things I had said was, you have to look at how the industry is transforming.
The hotel school in and of itself is unique as far as it's an academic institution that really is tied to a living, breathing profession. But what's being done here at the center is very distinct.
Research has been happening almost from the very beginning of the School of Hotel Administration back in the 1920s. Over the years, the definition of what research is has changed.
When you look at the generations of hospitality leaders and what their agendas and focuses were, they're very different than they were 5 years ago. It starts with technology.
Research is important in any business. You want to keep doing better. And that's really what research is about, is trying to understand the why. Why do things happen? How can we make things better?
What I like about forward-looking research is that it's trend analysis. It's trying to get me to think as a business person about what's going to be happening.
How are these trends impacting the industry, and what opportunities is that going to result in? I think these are key areas for research and for study to identify the trends and where the opportunities are.
The hospitality industry is a very immediate kind of industry. In an environment like that, it's not typical to have somebody doing the thought leadership and to think about what the industry is going to look like in a year or 2 or 5 years.
The world is moving more quickly, right? And the importance of real-time information and real-time decision-making, it grows more paramount every day. You want to have the research foundation to validate your ideas and to understand that what you think is correct.
Our mission of creating and disseminating was able to be executed with a staff of folks.
I'm not aware of any other hospitality school that has a Center for Hospitality Research to the scope and depth and robustness that we have.
What's unique about the Center for Hospitality Research is that we're funded and supported by the industry.
Collaboration is the key word here. I think the two-way interaction between industry and academia is essential and a unique nature of CHR.
We get to answer questions that are of interest to us academically, while at the same time trying to address questions and concerns that business leaders have.
These are often partners that in another setting are competing vigorously. But when they come to the CHR, it's a collaborative effort to improve that knowledge base for the industry.
The center itself has continually evolved, kind of this collective wisdom between the students, academia, industry together, which is a very unique thing in our industry that's not really out there.
For the Cornell Quarterly, it's imperative that we listen to industry, identify the chief concerns, and then really focus on the ways in which we can make the bridge between practice and scholarship.
We've been able to increase the quantity of scholarship from the faculty and disseminate it using both the channels we began with and some new ones, blogs, webinars.
Some of the most popular content on the center's website are the tools.
I did a study that looked at a large power failure that occurred in the Northeast. That tool's been downloaded more than 3,000 times. And to me, that was astonishing that the work I was doing could have that kind of reach.
The data that we have can be used for academic study, for research, together with the amazing researchers and the great student involvement that Cornell is famous for.
I worked with CHR both as a graduate student while I was at Cornell, and I've collaborated with it from an industry standpoint.
We are having increasingly large number of students who work on research projects supported by CHR.
It's critical for students not just to work with the data that the industry is actually using, but to really gain a comfort level with that data.
We're cutting out the whole process of them having to develop relationships with data providers. We put into place all the confidentiality agreements and make the data quickly accessible to the researchers.
These students are so smart, so creative, and they're the future of our industry. And so having the time to spend with them, talk to them about their careers, I love that. That's one of the huge things I take out of this.
We don't have a lot of environments to enjoy debate. The relationship we have with CHR really facilitates that in a very unbiased environment.
The roundtable discussions are probably one of the best value adds of being a partner. The smartest and the brightest people kind of hashing out those issues at the table in a less formal setting.
I envision the roundtables as the way we should have conferences now and in the future, where there are no presentations. There's discussion and there's participation. And I'm going to only bring in people at the top of their field.
The roundtables that the center has conducted have been fantastic. The biannual research summit is also a great innovation.
The things that people want to talk about are the things that are going on in real time in the industry.
Nobody's selling anything. We're really all here to talk about industry issues, and that's extremely valuable.
It's very gratifying to me personally, having been a long-standing CHR board member, to watch it grow from 4 or 5 of us in a room to 10 to now 30 or 40.
For all those, both in the past, today, and looking forward, they're to be commended, because I think that it's really universally accepted as the leader and playing an important and critical role in the industry itself.
I've gotten some very close relationships with some of the professors through the board, and also some of my colleagues in the industry.
The exciting part about this being the 20th anniversary year is the fact that the legacy of the Center for Hospitality Research is brought to bear while the rest of us are looking at why we're here at the table today and what do we see going forward. So it's kind of a nexus.
That puts me as the new director in an enviable position to bring these industry leaders together and see what new knowledge we can create.
The Center for Hospitality Research Summit marks a milestone. This is our second offering of the summit, and bringing researchers in hospitality research from all over the world is something we dreamed about doing 20 years ago. It's a testament to our faculty, to our facilities, to our students, that so many of you have traveled to Ithaca, New York to be with us today.